Alrighty there, folks. Hello there. This is Alan recording another comprehensive Magic of the Gathering Arena Draft video. So it's time for our third Premier Draft Midnight Hunt video. And I did adjust the quality of the video, which I'm hoping will improve. Did a test run, and yeah, the games didn't seem blurry like the last three previous videos, which had the dumb blurry graphic that was pretty much preventing most of the text from the cards and action from being seen. So unfortunately, yeah, I think we'll have to maybe just make another video, and this time the quality should be better. So let's dive on in and do some more Midnight Hunt, and then maybe we do Premier Draft Ravnica Mixer. That can be kind of fun, maybe for some sort of 5-color archetype. But other than that, let's fire another one off. And I think blue will be getting a nerf next set, since looking at the blue uncommons and rares right now, they're definitely kind of unexciting compared to the other rares in the rest of the other colors. And it's funny how there's exploit in the next set, but there's like no decayed zombie tokens to sacrifice. I think WotC learned from their mistake in this set, which was meant to be a werewolf flavored set. But as we know, I think werewolves, red-green werewolves, is actually worse than black-green, and it's a worse archetype. I was hoping at least it could be at least a B plus or like a B level or tier 2 archetype to balance things out, even in a set that's theme is werewolves. But unfortunately, got the short end of the stick. But anyways, yeah, Vampire's Lure looking great in the next set as well. And blue, I think, is getting a nerf. But anyways, draft blue, as we all know, for Innistrad Midnight Hunt. Best color. Black is second, white is third, and then it goes green and red. Oh, well, I mean, we did open up Consuming Blob. So I only like green with green white and green blue, with green red and green black. Sometimes if I play a bunch of powerful cards, I will go that direction. There's also Dreadhound, which is great, and Infernal Grasp. All three of these are quite excellent. At common, we have Revenge of the Drowned, which, I'm probably not going to take over the rest of these other 3 cards, so which one do we want to take here? I actually don't think Dreadhound and Consuming Blob are actually too far off, believe it or not. Consuming Blob does play better in blue-green, and it's kind of committal, since you want different card types into the graveyard, whereas if you're just playing this in the white-green straight-up deck, you're not going to have a ton of stuff in the graveyard other than creatures. And I think black is definitely a better color than green if you're going to be taking Consuming Blobs. All you'll be grabbing are like Eccentric Farmers and Shall Be Sightings. And I think Dreadhound is enough better than Infernal Grasp, given that there's a lot of removal at common in black. So I'll actually take Dreadhound here, just for color preference. And I don't think it's far off from Consuming Blob. Basically, this also just wins you the game almost on the spot once you cast on turn 6. You just mill yourself, drain the opponent for a ton, and then after you drain your opponent for a ton, you can also just send in your decayed zombie tokens and just win the game. So I think taking Dreadhound over Consuming Blob isn't that bad. And again, given the plethora of removal at common in black, I don't think we need to prioritize Grasp over Dreadhound. Here we're going to take a Static Awakener. I have this listed as a second best black common, and then the third best black common the best black common, the second best common in the set, and then the second best black common, and the third best common overall is Diregraph Horde. We all know Organ Hoarder is the king of them all. But we'll take a Static Awakener. If this wasn't this pack, easy Diregraph Horde. Blaze Dishgob is a 2-colored card. We can still end up black-white, for example. So I think I'll stay open, take a Static Awakener, just very good. 1 mana, it's 4 mana for draw a card. That's the joke behind it. Okay, there's a Crawl from a Cellar. There's also Shall Be Sighting. Those 2 cards stand out. With our setup right now, it doesn't seem like we're setting us up to be a Vampires deck, even though Falcon Wrath Pitfighter is a fine 1-drop. So just in case, I think I'll take Shall Be Sighting. We can always get a Crawl from a Cellar later. I mean, I could just take Crawl now. Like, Shall Be Sighting is the second best green common, but it's not the best. And I'm not even a big fan of black-green, honestly. I don't think it's a great archetype. If you do pick up a couple of bombs, of course, in both green and black, you can try to do it. But maybe Crawl from a Cellar is worth taking over Shall Beast. It's just really powerful with Dreadhound and a Static Awakener, being able to bring them both back. Yeah, sure, I can get this later, but I mean, the fact is, black is a contested color, and for the most part, From what I've been seeing, sometimes it doesn't wheel, so well, we'll take Crawl from a Cellar over Shall Be Sighting, just to stay in black as we get past another one. Or we can just take Startled here, maybe force blue-black. We're seeing a Burly Breaker, so I think green could be open for my right-hand side, but it's also not an exciting card. A lot of the 5-drops in green are just very replaceable. This could just be the best one out of the commons and uncommons. Obviously, we know Blob is like the best 5-drop in this set, which we just passed. But, you know, Startle's still fine. We can play in a Zombies deck, and I don't think we need double Crawl from the Cellar. So, we'll take it. Ooh, Blaze Stitch God, perfect. I mean, I think I like it over Olivia's Midnight Ambush. Midnight's Ambush isn't great unless the day-night cycle is introduced. So if you do play a couple of werewolves, you can just pass the turn. Or some of the white cards, you can just pass the turn, cast this from -13, -13. So this is also kind of a also makes green and red a lot weaker in the set, given that they do introduce a day and night cycle. Sometimes they just pass, try to flip the werewolves, and you get to kill their werewolf. But I think Blaze Stitch Gob is enough better that I gotta take it here. Maybe cut off some blue-black. And yeah, I think Olivia's Imminent Ambush is the worst out of the 3 removal spells at common, so I'll do this instead. And then here, I'd rather take Flip the Switch over Dissipate. Could just take Blood Type Collector to stick to cut off some black. It's a fine black card. Obviously, it's a vampire flavor themed. Or I can just take Shady Traveler. I mean, both of them are kind of okay either way. Given that this is an uncommon and there's a chance Shady Traveler could wheel, I think I'll just take Blood Type Collector. Nothing else too exciting out of this pack. Like Consider, but I don't really care about in blue-black. So, we'll take Blood Type. And, yep, still nothing exciting. This pack is kind of abysmal. I guess if we end up somehow in black-white, we can just take a random 2-drop. I don't think I care about Drown Yard Amalgam in blue-black. In blue-green, maybe. I mean, it's enough. All these cards are just enough worse. I might as well just take it, just to cut off some blue. But the packs are looking dry. Flip the Switch. Pick 8 is nice. Definitely a common that has overperformed above my expectations. It's probably like the 4th best blue common. Between this and Bait Hook Angler, they're like the 4th best blue common. I would go Organ Hoarder, and then between Revenge of the Drowned and Falcon Abomination, I would take Falcon Abomination as second for curve. Then Revenge, and then either Flip the Switch or Bait Hook Angler. Both of them are close, but yeah, this generates a zombie and counters something, so that's good. And we can just cut off more blue. I don't think I care about anything else. Don't care about the Celestis Sanctuary. Like, white is a good color in this set, don't get me wrong. It's just that white's 3-drops just tend to suck at common. So you have to get the uncommons, like, for example, the 3-mana 3/3 with Ward 1. I forgot the name of that. Here we'll take 1 copy of Ron Union. That card has definitely overperformed. Seeing like Vampire Interloper, but I don't think we're moving the vampires. I think I'm better off just forcing blue-black. And we'll just cut off some more blue. Nothing much. Electric Rev is actually a main deckable card. And yeah, alright. Force blue-black. We're doing it again. Scob Wrangler over Curse of Leeches, I think that's correct. And Scob Wrangler over Diregraph Horde, I also think is correct. Like, obviously, we can still stay open and just take the mono black card, which I actually would take Diregraph Horde over Curse of Leeches. Curse is a good card, but it is just slow, and I'd rather just have zombie synergies. But, you know, by taking this, it just makes my zombies even better, and we're kind of in a zombies deck already. Like, the only archetype I can see myself pivoting out of is maybe into white-black. I think Scob Wrangler is enough better than Diregraph Horde that I will take it here. Pack 1, pick 1, I would also just take maybe Scob Wrangler over both of these. I would go 1, 2, and then 3. And yeah, Scob is just great with what we have currently. So let's try it here. Just force blue-black. And Defenestrate is nice. Cigar Splendor can also be really powerful if you play it with multiple Lunarch veterans. It just becomes a card draw engine. However, if you're behind and the opponent is pressuring you with evasive threats, it's not great. So it's kind of a upside-downside card. It's not always going to be reliable, but in a deck full of Lunarch veterans, it's kind of insane. Almost essentially just a bomb that's hard to interact with. If white, blue, black was open, I'd maybe still take the Bait Hook Angler. There's also Search Party Captain, which is quite good. Best card in this pack are like Cigar Splendor, Hound Tamer, Defenestrate. but we'll take the Fenestrate just to force black-blue again. And Organ Hoarder, the best common in the set here, perfect. Pick 3, so sign that blue's open. So I think we managed to cut off blue in our first pack, that the person to our left-hand side is going to reward us. So yeah, this is great. Otherwise, I take another flip the switch. And Falcon Abomination versus Eaten Alive. It might actually just be the Falcon Abomination, like just making the extra body for the Scob Wrangler is really awesome. It's an evasive threat that can help us close out. In terms of removal, we only have one Defenestrate and maybe the Flip the Switch so far. But I think the Falcon Abomination has enough synergy that I'm just going to take it here. Black did seem open from our first pack, so maybe we can get Eaten Alive later. I have Eaten Alive slightly higher than Falcon Abomination, but pack 1, pick 1, I would still maybe take the Falcon Abomination just to be in blue, the best color. And, you know, this card is still the second best blue common, so I'll take it here. I think just it has enough synergy that I'm willing to take it, and we'll just take a million Mole Drifters here, i.e. Organ Hoarder. I would like my Grave Titans at 5, please. Ooh, Scob Wrangler. Alright, just keep taking the busted stuff. And we're forcing it again, blue-black. Last draft we had 5 Diregraph Hordes, but obviously the quality of that video was really not great. But I adjusted the quality and I did my test, so I'm hoping that it we can actually have a good video where we can see everything clearly. So the cards that could be replaceable is maybe Blood Type Collector. Everything else I'm happy to just play. Yeah, I don't think any of this matters. Blood Type Collector is the only card I would maybe replace, but even then it's a solid 5-drop. If we're able to get a damage, making this card isn't the worst. It's not an amazing effect in the set, given that there's a lot of Flashback and Disturb, but it's still quite decent. And Revenge of the Drowned is, yeah, also top blue common, so happy seeing this pick 8. So we officially cut the opponent, the person to my left-hand side over, cut them out of blue, and Olivia's Midnight Ambush late is also great. Right is also definitely better, but I'm not splashing it. Just take all the common removal. We already have a Drownyard Amalgam, so I'll take a Blade Brand. Ooh, another Flip the Switch. I'll play 2 copies, why not? Don't need to emphasize a second copy of Crawls. And I did say we were going to get them later, so so either way we took the risk and we could have a Shall Be sighting, but again, black-green is just not a good archetype. And we'll take the Flash Creature just in case, and cut off more black. So yeah, this deck looks really strong. Just need more 3-drops. I mean, we have some 3s, but yeah, more zombie payoffs like Blaze Stitch Scob seems great. Pack 1, pick 1, it would be Blaze Stitch Scob. I would just try to force blue-black. And yeah, red is just not great in the set unless you're in red base spells, but red base spells are only limited to mostly blue-red, black-red, sometimes red-green, but it's hard to come together because, yeah, you don't get a lot of good green instances or sorceries at common outside of the Shadow Beast sighting, so yeah, just keep taking on the zombie cards. Second Ecstatic Awakener looks awesome. I also wouldn't mind a Stormcroak Blood Thief, but Ecstatic Awakener is going to be amazing, especially with all the zombie tokens running around. So, the second best common of the set. Okay, I think we just take the Dual Land. That's a nice gift. I think I like it over Evolving Wilds. Omnis Roost is not really what we want to do in this deck. It's mostly a blue-green card. Also decent in blue-white, but better in blue-green. Shipwreck Marsh is a gift, pick 3, also gives us 20 gems for our collection, so that's pretty awesome. And I also don't mind Larder Zombie, has also been kind of impressive as a one-of in these blue-black decks, just allowing us the late game to prevent ourselves from flooding. And this card's just very versatile. I'll never play 2 copies, but 1 copy is always decent. We'll take it here. I think black is getting contested, but blue is definitely open. We just need Grave Titan, which I'm hoping we can get. We can always play like a Stormrider Spirit, which plays well with double Flip the Switch and Revenge. Also, Flip the Switch also plays well with Static Awakener, given the activated ability is 3 mana, and you can keep up the activated ability and the counter spell, so that's really awesome to do. I'm kind of liking the Storm Rider Spirit as a main deck if we don't get the Diregraph Horde. Siege Zombie is also really excellent in blue-black, giving us some incidental drain, which is nice. So now it plays well with the Blood Type Collector, just being able to tap a bunch of zombies and burn them. And I'm not going to main deck a No Way Out, but I mean, it's also not an unplayable card in the set. Definitely not great due to Flashback and Disturb, and it's probably the worst way to generate a zombie, but zombies are so good that even a card like No Way Out could be main deckable, but again, it's much more on a weaker end of the spectrum that I'm not going to prioritize it. How many ways do we have to generate zombies? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 ways to generate zombies, so I'm hoping we can get Diregraph Horde. I still think I might want to main deck the Blood Type Collector. Okay, we'll just take another No Way Out. I think yeah, this is kind of just a 4-mana 4/4, so it's also a solid win condition for the deck. We could use one more creature, so maybe I could main deck again Storm Rider Spirit, which does play well with some of these instances that we have. Give us another top end flyer to help us close out the game because the top end is lacking. Like maybe this could act as a mid-range creature on turn 4, like Organ Hoarder, since you sacrifice and make into a 4/4. Okay, triple flip the switch could be a thing. I mean, I'm not against it. Maybe we just play triple flip the switch. Actually, we need one more playable because the land doesn't count. Okay, so we might have to main deck Storm Rider Spirits, and I'm totally fine with that. Don't need, again, double No Way Out or the rest of these other filler cards. Yeah, I think we're not going to get anything at the end of this draft. There was definitely someone else drafting black at the table. No Diregraph Hordes, but blue was pretty open. Definitely other blue drafters, but we got the blue-black zombie cards that we care about the most. And I think it's correct taking the Falcon A-Bomb over the Ena Live, otherwise we wouldn't have any 3-drops, and again, the synergy with Star Wrangler is just huge. Like, turn 2 play this, turn 3 play this, and then we can tap a creature down and go for an attack. Here we're just going to run 16 lands. 17. We do need to hit our 17th land to activate the Static Awakener, which is also really important in this deck. So this seems awesome. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get to 7, but I think we'll have a decent win rate. And we'll just keep it even split, given that we have a dual land, some black cards to play early, and some 2-drop blue cards, plus Larder Zombie as a 1-drop. Seems great. We'll try it out. Yeah. 2-drop, flip the switch, Organ on the play. We'll try it. Do I need to show him Shipwreck Marsh? I mean, it's not wrong. It's not incorrect either. It's just turn 1, so might as well play tapped anyways. I'm not going to hide any info this early. Organ Horror is also a zombie, so it also plays decent in blue-black. Could see the 2/2 flash creature, but I'm still willing to counter it if he tries to do it. Yeah, I'll counter it. Here it is, and we should just counter it. It's totally fine. I mean, either way, the 3/1 would be pretty annoying, even if I let it resolve, because he'll be attacking me for 3. Here, I don't think I'm going to attack with the 2/3 because he could have another one, so we're just going to cast Organ Hoarder and maybe just pass the turn. And yeah, we'll just keep a million Blade Stitch Scobs. Can't attack for 3, but man, we'll just say go. So he didn't flash it in, so next turn I'm free to attack. Since he didn't flash it in, and then, you know, I can just swing both. This can trade for my 4-2. I don't think I like that. Although now we have Startled, so yeah, we can just cast Startled anyways. Do I send in the 3-2? Not now. Just attack. If he blocks, we'll cast Startled, cast Scob Wrangler to tap his creature down next turn, and then ambush him with Blade Stitch Scob. So should be afraid of maybe banish the Horde, but it's still early, and that's a rare, so I'm not going to play around it. We're just going to try to aggro him out with zombies, and if he doesn't have a board wipe, we can just cast Blade Stitch Scob and maybe win the game next turn. So we'll have at least 16 power. Okay, so he's going to double spell, I guess. Shall be sighting. We will tap down. I don't think white-green wants a main deck banish the Horde, so I think I'm fine playing everything else. Now what? If we send in all, he blocks the 4-2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's not lethal. I still want to... Yeah, that's not lethal. I still want the Zombo tokens with the 4-4. So I think I'm just going to attack with these two. He's probably not going to block. And then we can play Blood Tithe Collector, make him discard, and play maybe a Static Awakener. And then next turn we can maybe play Stitch Scob, but yeah, I'm hoping he doesn't have Vanquish the Horde or whatever, but I'm not going to play, again, I'm not going to play into it. Even has a discard Lisa. Powerful splash option, definitely. And I can still take 4 here if he gets aggressive, but yeah, unless he has the board wipe, we should be able to win. Wardens, that's fine. Timberland Guide, so he's just going to go wide here. So do we still have lethal? I don't think any of this matters. So let's calculate. He has 3 blockers. He blocks our biggest dudes. So if we play Blade Stitch Scob here and attack with all, what happens? He's going to block the 4-powered. All 3 of them. We'll have 7. No, we'll have, this will get pumped. So I guess he's blocking this. So he blocks here, and then blocks here. We'll have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Plus 12 with the Blade Stitch Scob. Actually, let's do the math by playing this first. So, blocks happen here or here. Let's just assume it's here. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So it's not lethal yet. So I think all we want to do is maybe just attack with the 5-2 and the Static Awakener. I'm fine with the trade. And take it from there. I can also send in the 4-2s, why not? Yeah, sure. We can still tap down something on his turn and find offering to trade here. If he blocks here, do I sack a token? I think I do. It kind of sucks because I want to deal damage to him, but I think we still need to offer to trade and be civilized people. Yeah, he gets good blocks here. That sucks, but whatever. I think it's still worth doing. We'll eventually draw into more spells. And I think the card draw is nice here, so yeah. And we can also tap some stuff down next turn, so yeah, we'll say go. I'm definitely not going to tap on his pre-combat because Yeah, that's not going to save him. I'll just have the 4/4 end of turn. He needs another spell here. Ren 7, that's a good one. Sure.
Speak your purpose.
So I'm going to tap down the land end of turn. And I can also do it main phase. I can tap down the 4/4 main phase as well. So I can also tap this down, attack with the 3/3. No, I can't do that. I guess, I can tap the 1/1 down and attack Ren. I think that's the play, and then if he swings back, that's fine. I just need to take out Ren, because Ren is going to be scary, and it's going to gain so much advantage. I have to get rid of it, and we'll just keep the lands. I'm fine if he hits me for 7. I should still be alive, so... And then I can tap it down on his turn, and if he hits me for 8, I should also be fine, so... The fact that this has reach is quite strong as well, so... Opponent has bombs, for sure. Ooh, borrow time. Yep. So the game plan might just be to go wide now, but he's probably gonna stay back because if he loses this token, he can be in trouble. But we just keep drawing lands, so if I attack with all, that's not good. So we'll just say go. I wish I have a larder zombie here to help me scry. Okay, this is not great. If he keeps drawing removal, we're in trouble. I can double block here. Do I want to double block? Maybe triple block? No, actually, well, we'll just take it here. I'd rather triple block to 7/7. I guess if I triple block, he can kill the Blade Stitch Scab. Never mind. Okay, Ron Reunion would have been nice last turn. We'll just Ron Reunion and surprise him next at his end step. So we'll just play lands to go, and then we'll still survive if he doesn't attack here. So yeah, we should still survive. Yeah, if he sends in all, I can still chump and then attack him on his way back. I'm fine taking 8, and then end of turn we can exile. We can make 2 zombie tokens, and I think we can do an all-out attack and try to steal the game. Hoping he doesn't have anything good. A Lunarch Veteran, that's annoying. I think I have to go for the Rotten Reunion play. He has 3 blockers. I still have 6 power. Yeah, I think I go for it. He could also have an instant since he's holding priority, so... either way, I think I need to go for an all-out attack, because if I top deck a land, this is going to be a problem. I can Stormbrider Spirit and ambush. So if I attack with all, he has 3 blockers, but if he has an instant, I can get blown out. If I don't attack, he can send in a 7/7. I'm forced to chump. I lose an attacker. I can still replace with a 3/3, but he has too many win conditions. I think I have to go for it. And the death triggers, and the life gain trigger is also on the stack. So even if he loses some permanents, it's still 6 damage. So let's do this. So he's just dead anyways because the life trigger is on the stack. So alright, that was a close game. Flooded out a little bit too much, but we managed to add enough pressure to close out. So that attack with the 2/3 Blade Stitch Scab when he had the 3 mana available was could have definitely changed the course of the game and made us win, but I decided to still... I guess he would still be at 1 life, but I would still be able to free roll him more. So yeah, the 2/3 attacking on turn 3 could have been the right thing to do. But again, I was afraid of another 3/1 ambush. Okay, seems good. I think we'll play this on turn 3. Question is, do I Rotten Reunion on turn 2? I might actually do that, because by doing that I can then make a 4/4 Static Awakener the following turn and attack. Alternatively, we can play Scob Wrangler and just play things out. Which one do I prefer? Blade Stitch Scob to resolve first, or Scob Wrangler? Scob Wrangler can give us some interaction. Blade Stitch Scob can pump our team, which is also important. It's also a lot more difficult to cast, I guess, so I might as well play Blade Stitch Scob on turn 2. Given that blue-black cost, whereas Scob Wrangler is single blue. Devoted Graphkeeper. Got some nice value there. I might as well exile it right now before he puts on a stack on his turn. So, ooh, Siege Zombie is also nice. But I think we want to resolve Scob Wrangler first, I have to imagine. But let's just exile the 1/1 right away. And Scob doesn't seem bad. We can Scob and then go for an attack. I can also just Siege Zombie or run Reunion again. Interesting. Scob tapping something down. Do I have any good attacks? The 1/3 is annoying. If I tap down the 1/3, the 2/3 can get in. But either way, I don't really want to send this in. So I think we actually just play Siege Zombie here. And it's also a card that the opponent that I'm fine resolving, even if he has Counterspell, because even though Scob Wrangler I prefer over Siege Zombie still drains the opponent for 1. So it's still quite a good card regardless. Here I can actually trade if he decides to attack. I don't mind trading the Siege Zombie. By trading the Siege Zombie, I can exile this next turn, which can be quite important. So I actually don't mind trading if that happens. Also have Crawl to put a counter onto one of my zombies. Bazari's Acolyte, except no lifelink, but still good white common, just not really impressive in this format because that's not what this format is about. Still very good. So, alright, makes a 2/4, so I guess we need a 4/4 on defense, or Flip the Switch. Might want to keep a Flip the Switch and a Static Awakener's ability. He attacks with a 3/4. What happens? I can just block and sack and make a 4/4, make this into a 4/4, and hold this off. But if he free rolls me, he definitely knows about this activated ability, so there's a chance he could also have a pump trick. So I wouldn't be able to sack and activate Flip the Switch. I think I'll keep a Flip the Switch and say go. He can surveil end of turn. No good attacks. Maybe this is a game where we just grind him out with Siege Zombie. If he passes the turn, do nothing, he could have Revenge, but I'm still going to sack the zombie token. I could counter this and then exile on a stack. I don't think I want to. There's some other stuff that's worth countering. Cubs Castaway, I don't mind countering and exiling. I mean, I don't even need to. I might as well just make a 4/4. Like, if I counter this and exile it next turn, I guess if I get a land, I can sack and make a 3/3, or just play Scob Wrangler. This is definitely a card worth countering, actually. You know what? Let's use Flip the Switch here. I think it's worth doing. I mean, he could have something else, but I think this is worth doing. If he attacks, I could double block. No, maybe I should. I don't know. He can free roll me for 3, but that's, again, okay. It's still early. I could just make a wide board. If I double block, I can always just buy back Blade Stitch Scob, so it's not the worse. Sure, so he's just gonna make a big blocker. So I guess his game plan also isn't to be aggressive. He just wants to stall me out. But luckily enough, Siege Zombie gets to drain him over time, which is pretty neat. And we got Lance, so we just want Rotten Reunion now on the flyer before he is able to get it going. So I have 6 bodies here. I can still tap 2, sacrifice a zombie, and a turn make a 4/4. I mean, I might as well just do it now in case he has something, so I will sack a zombie. Even though I only drain him for 1. Maybe this was a misplay. I could have gotten the second drain. But I think this is safer. I mean, white blue doesn't have damage-based removals, so maybe I should have still held it up. So if he puts a counter attack, he could have Startle, but I'm still fine double blocking because he can only kill 1 creature. That's unfortunate. I'm still going to chump with it if he attacks so I can buy it back. Exiles it instead, sure. Guess I'll take 3, and then I think the opponent tapped his mana wrong. I'll still take 3, and then we can still... I mean, I could still double block. He takes out Blaze Stitch Scob. I buy it back. And I might as well use the Crawl from Stellar since my guy got exiled. Yeah, let's double block. I think I'm okay. It's going to be quite large if he puts a counter onto it, so this is fine. And before damage, we might as well tap our guys for to drain him. Ooh, Olivia's Midnight Ambush. Okay, so now it seems like maybe a good turn to cast Larder Zombie. Scob Wrangler, and I guess I want to make this into a 2/4 with the Crawl from the Cellar. Like, I could still tap it down, but making this into a 2/4 makes it a really good blocker, and I don't really want to attack or block with the Siege Zombie, so actually we'll do this. So if he puts a counter on his 3/2, we can easily halt it off, and we can also just keep draining him. I think I'm just going to drain him. Like, if I tap this down, like, I don't have any good attacks unless I want to attack with a 2/2 by tapping his Devoted Craftkeeper next turn as well, so... Locked. 5 cards in the graveyard. I guess it's going to end up being tapped, but again, that's okay. That doesn't kill it, so I can still activate the ability. So Locked in Cemetery. So that's fine. Siege Zombie's activate ability is what matters, and we can just keep draining him end of turn with the Siege Zombie. So I'm not really in a rush. I think that's better than surveilling. You have a lot of good top decks. If he plays a big flyer, that could be a problem though. Amalgam, sure, I guess now. I mean, we can still tap his creature down end of turn, so again, I'm not in a rush. I mean, other ways this incidental life gain could be pretty problematic, so maybe I do just surveil with Larder Zombie to find more action. Maybe that's the correct thing to do. Like, I can keep draining him, but the Lunarch Veteran is just going to gain him life, so I think now we start surveilling. And nope, we'll decline. Um, yeah, we'll keep up the activated ability, and then tap the 3/6 before combat. I'm fine sacrificing the siege because I can just buy back with crawl from the cellar and just recast it, so that's fine. I don't really need to activate this ability until he activates Drown Yard Amalgam, so I'm going to allow him to move to combat. And if he attacks, I'll just block with the 3/4. Yeah, he needs to activate. He needs to activate this ability pre-combat. I guess he can attack and activate it. So, okay, maybe need to start tapping this down. Yeah, he can still attack and then activate the ability before blocks. Yeah, he can still do that. So maybe I should tap it down. Oh, sometimes you make misplays. I mean, I can still swing in for 4 next turn, which could be quite nice. I think he needs to hold full control, but I think the opponent didn't realize that. Okay, so we can drain him for 2, actually. So, yeah, we'll drain him for 2. I can also tap 2 things down and attack with a 4/4 next turn. Maybe that's better. Tap this down. And then just tap this down. So we also don't allow him to surveil next turn. The funny thing is keeping up all his mana, so he could have the flash flying threat. And if he does, I still have Olivia's Midnight Ambush to answer it if I decide to attack with the 2/3/1/1 and the 2/1. I probably don't want to attack with the Scar Wrangler because yeah. Drawing cards are nice, and I'm not going to use Olivia's because I want to save this for the flyer instead. So now what we can do is we can play land, cast Crawl from the cellar, get the Siege Zombie, put a 1/1 counter on Blade Stitch Scob. So then it can attack and move to combat. And I think I will attack with these 2, and he can chump if he like. If he tries to flash into flyer, I can tap it down before blocks as well, so that's also really interesting. So if he puts down his graveyard, I'm fine, because I can just answer the flyer next turn. And he has nothing. So he might just cast a flyer, put a counter onto it. And I need to start getting aggressive. Actually, I might want to Midnight Ambush the 0/2. Or I can wait until he puts a counter. Falcon Abomination seems good. Yeah, we'll cast a Falcon. Use the activated ability. Tap down the 3/5 and attack. Scott Wrangler is so good. And I think I want to save the Midnight Ambush. If he taps a bunch of creatures, I can still attack, and then if he chumps with Lunar Veteran, I'm still fine with that, so. I need to be pretty conservative with my removal. Brutal Cathar we can just kill, so we can try to ambush the Brutal Cathar here. Was he planning to target my flyer? Scob Wrangler, do I want to use the activated ability? Not really. Yeah, not really. We'll actually let it resolve, and we can even kill the Brutal Cathar in the turn. I think it's worth killing so I can get back my Scob Wrangler. And then we can also activate the Scob Wrangler end of turn. If he puts a 1-1 counter here, I guess he's going to get aggressive, so... I think I'm fine if he attacks or not. You know what? Let's actually just kill the Brutal Cathar now. He can activate the Gavny Trapper to tap down one of my threats, but now what I can do is I can use a Scob Wrangler on the 4/7 and tap it down. He can hit me for 3 in the air, but then I can swing back next turn for a lot of damage. Ooh, another Blade Stitch Scob, perfect. This is how we do it. Yeah, we want to tap the Blade Stitch Scob that came in, right? So this one, I could do an all-out attack. If I do an all-out attack, this can only block flyers, right? So my flyer will get blocked. He taps my 0/4, blocks another 4/4. Yeah, I think he should just be dead, if I'm not mistaken. So, actually, no, let's not tap like that. Let's tap the Scob, tap, and then tap our Scob Wrangler because I want to attack with it, and something like this makes sense. So assuming he has 3 blockers, he blocks all my 4 power. I should have enough to just kill him here, so should just be game over. Like he taps one my 4/4, he trades for my flyer, blocks another 4/4. It should be game over. So yeah, I don't know what the person is thinking about, but yeah. Not a big fan of the enchantment-based removal in this set. Like it's sometimes like requiring Covenant is not great, and the opponent still gets a blocker, and if the card has an activated ability, isn't great. And Locked in Cemetery again, you can. There's some ways to disturb he locks down a 4/4. Again, I can just attack with all, and he's just dead here. So yeah, if he blocks 2 creatures, this is still lethal. So, yep. This deck is just really good. The only thing missing was the Diregraph Horde, which we only saw 1 copy of, but we took a Static Awakener over it. I don't regret it. I think a Static Awakener is just better than Diregraph Horde. Not by much, but I still think it's the best black common. Diregraph Horde is number 2, and then I think Eaten Alive is number 3. And I would, again, take Falcon Abomination, maybe over Eaten Alive, pack 1, pick 1. And maybe over Diregraph Horde still. Just because I'd rather just be in blue in this set. Blue just plays very well with the rest of the other colors. Black, if you end up with black green, that is not great. Or black red. Black red just wants you to play hyper aggro vampires. So if you're playing a black grindy mid range or tempo deck, it doesn't really. Some of the black cards don't mix well with black red. So usually, if you're going to play black, you're kind of forced. Not forced, but you're just locked into the Esper colors, kind of, and that can that will definitely hinder some flexibility. Alright, if we get a land, we can curve out with Falcon. We have the Dream Starts, Scob Wrangler into Falcon. Keep Larder Zombie? Sure. Actually, might. I actually like this Blade Stitch Scob on later, because by getting the Blade Stitch Scob later, what can happen is that we can have this as a 3-power flyer, but at the same time, I might just play Blade Stitch Scob so we can hold off the 1/1 for now. If he attacks into it, it's definitely a sign that he has something. Do I need to Olivia's Midnight Ambush this? Not now. Until we know he gets Coven, we should. So I'll just play Blade Stitch Scob for now, so he doesn't get to hit me for 1, and then we'll play Falcon, and then the following turns we can decide if we want to ambush this. All he has is 1 power currently, now 2 powered, so that can be kind of scary. We do have the Exile effect, so if he plays a 1-drop and turns this into a 3/3, I don't think that's possible because all the 1-drops are 1 power, so he needs to play like a 3-powered creature to maybe enable Coven for next turn. So I think for now, all we want to do is just maybe play the Falcon Abomination. I highly doubt he'll attack with both of these, unless he puts a counter. I don't really want to keep up Flip the Switch here. I think we want to be proactive as well. And then we can keep up our counter spell next turn for Ron, Reunion, Olivia's, and Flip. And we'll pass. He's going to use Larder Zombie. But his deck looks pretty cool, you know. Looks like a very synergistic Azorius deck too. Keeps it on top, so could definitely something important. So I might have to kill this if he tries to play a Coven creature. But I actually want to wait. I actually want him to wait to use his Coven ability first, so we can basically make him use up all of his mana. So I'm actually just gonna wait on Olivia's Midnight Ambush here, and just say go. Do I want to trade for this 3/2? I mean, he's waiting to race with the Lunarch Veteran, so I think I'm gonna offer to trade if he attacks. Either way, I can still get back with Crawl from his cellar, so it's not a big deal. I'm fine if he uses Larder Zombie. Again, if he tries to transform to 1/1, I can Olivia's Midnight Ambush to waste his mana. And we can still keep up Flip the Switch. Okay, I think I blocked Blade Stitch Scob onto the 1/1 and the 3/2 in front of the 2/2. I think that's the block we want to make, and we want to make him use his mana. He could also have, he transforms this on a Stackle Ambush. He could still have Startled here, so it doesn't, no, this is fine. And then, yeah, we'll just let this trade happen. Hold on to my Ron Reunion, because the 1-mana ability is important if he has a Disturb creature, so we can use it for cheap. So this is fine, and now what we can do is we can still play land. I think we play Crawl, get back the Falcon Abomination, and take it from there. I can also keep up Flip the Switch and Rotten, but that's not really impactful, so I think what we want to do is do this, and do this. Could see a bounce, but he would have bounced, I think, his Ambitious Farmhand. So opponent gets to resolve something here. I'm hoping he doesn't have the bird. The 5-mana 3/4 could be pretty annoying because it can exile Crawl. But that was a really nice turn for us. Keeps on top, so it could be the bird. Nope, just borrow time. Maybe on Blade Stitch Scob, I think that's the key card. And the question is, do I trade for the 2/1? I might trade for it, so yeah, I might trade for the 2/1 here. By trading for the 2/1, what happens? I get to exile it. But at the same time, I can just play another Blade Stitch Scob and block. Yeah, very interesting here. He also gets a 2/2 Unruly Mob, which is kind of annoying, so I think I'll actually just take 2 for now. Not in a hurry. And I'm not really scared. And the land is really awesome, so we can play Blade Stitch Scob and keep up our counterspell. This will hold off the 2/1, and then we can also attack with the 2/2. I mean the 3/2. Having counterspell up is nice. So if he attacks with the 2/1 Dawn Guard, that's a little bit annoying. it's going to be hard to interact with because it has Ward 1 and also it's a 3/3, so I think I'll actually counter it. I also don't want him to resolve a creature, otherwise he gains life and his unruly mob gets a lot better. So I think countering this is correct. And then we're going to be out of counter spells next turn. We might just have to start building our board, so... do I keep land in hand? I think it's okay. Since I can still cast Rotten Reunion and also do some things here. So we'll attack for 3. And then end of turn we can always just activate Scott Wrangler and tap something down. Keeps it on top, so it's probably the bird. The burb. It's a burb, not a pretty big one too. So I'm probably going to tap it down end of turn. If he puts a disturb card, I'm also happy to exile it as well. Which he will, of course. So I don't need to use the ability now. We're just going to exile the creature end of turn, and then we're going to tap some stuff down, I think. So that's really sweet. We also get to untap our guy, so this is really nice. Just being able to untap the opponent's, tap down the opponent's threats. And I'll also just tap down maybe Larder Zombie or the 2/1. Like, I'm not going to attack with any of these ground creatures anyways. So I don't know what to tap here. Maybe the Lunarch Veteran. Crawl. So if I tap this down and attack, he still gets a double block, which I don't want because I don't really want to lose this. If I swing out with all, if he gets 3 blocks, he's still going to stay alive. So I think we just need to keep pressuring him in skies and then just tap down to 4/4 whenever he tries to attack. Keep it 2/3 on defense, and yeah, take it from there. If he puts another disturb card, I might just have to Rotten Reunion it. Which, I mean, that can't block. And his own Falcon Abomination, sure. So this is going to be a little bit of a rough race. We're going to be taking 2 per turn, 4 per turn actually, from this Falcon. Doesn't have any, I guess he wants to use Larder Zombie in response, sure. So unless I draw something good, I need to stop top decking lands. Yeah, this is a problem. Give me something besides lands, game. You can do it. I believe in you. Static Awakener was pretty good. So we'll attack for 3, play a Static Awakener, and I think we keep up the ability. Playing the Static Awakener, we can still keep the Blade Stitch Scab back as a blocker, and we can tap down a flyer. Do I play land here? Probably not. I think we just pass, say go. I mean, there's a chance we could draw into a counterspell by playing out land and sacrificing, so maybe I should consider that. Organ Hoarder, that's a good one. Opponent's just drawing gas. Into Faithful Mending, I think I'll exile it so he can't gain life. He did play land already. I guess he's holding on to maybe like a Candle Grove trap or something. Yeah, I guess what I want to do now is I want to hold full control. Submit 3, and then on a stack we want to cast Rotten Reunion, exiling the Faithful Mending. And then we can also tap using the Scab Wrangler, tapping down a flyer. So I think we'll do this. And I guess I'm fine also just tapping my Place Stitch Scott because I have the 4-4 on defense, so what we can do now is we can also just tap this. Tap like this. And then the Static Awakener can also hold off the ground, so if he tries to get aggressive, we can get a good block, so... That's an interesting attack. Not sure what this implies, but I will block and sack. Maybe a bounce spell, but I still get to draw a card, so it's not that bad. As we draw a million lands, perfect. Just as we want, just as I like it. No good attacks on the ground still. We're just going to attack for 3 and then do the same thing with the Scob Wrangler. So we can keep attacking for 3 and tapping down some flyers. Drew like 3 lands off the top, so we're bound to find action. The opponent, I guess, like the reason why the opponent isn't playing is because of this Larder Zombie doing a lot of work for him. And he keeps on top, so probably a removal spell maybe. Silverbolt was good for him, so he's going to try to answer the Scob, I have to imagine. And we'll use the activate ability one last time. I mean, we can also buy it back with the Crawl from a Cellar, so it's not that big of a deal, actually. And we can make a 4-powered flyer, so it's not that bad. I'll just take 2. He's probably just holding on to a land at this point, I have to imagine. I don't think we're attacking. I could just block here. He gets to get a stupid 3-1 flyer, but this also gets very annoying. I guess I might have to take this because if he casts his flyer, then that could be an issue. If I do an all-out attack next turn, he has 4 blockers. He blocks 4 of these. I think I actually just take 4 here. Sadly. Siege Zombie was a nice pickup, so what I can do now is I can play land, crawl, play my Scob, get my Scob, enhance. Move to combat. Scob, and then Siege Zombie seems quite good. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so I can use 3 activated tap abilities. That's really powerful. So I could just tap both flyers and drain him end of turn. If I drain him 3 times, he'll be down to 6, so he might have to stay back. I'm still going to tap the 4-4. I think that's a lot of damage. So if that's the case, I think our plan was to use a Scob Wrangler, I think. Tap these 3 down. And I might as well tap the Falcon because I want to attack with the 4-3 or not. I mean, he can chump with the 4-3. But still a pretty annoying blocker, so I'm still going to... so I guess I might as well use the Siege Zombie here. And drain him for 1. I'm fine taking 2. Since, yeah, the 2-2 can't really attack into the 4-3 that well. And I can also draw a card off of Faithful Absence, so this removal spell is also kind of problematic at times. Attacks with all, so he's afraid. So I might as well go for blocks. I think here and here makes the most sense. I should also still be alive. You could have the pump trick, the Coven +2/+1. I guess I should be alive still, right? 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I guess I'm dead if he has the +2/+1 to everyone, so I should still kill him next turn if he doesn't have that pump trick, and if he gets a good block in, unless it's Blessed Defiance. Yeah. It shows the power of blue-black, recursion, Scob Wrangler, zombies. It's a really stupid deck. I think I have it a notch above blue-white, but blue-white is also S tier. If you can get like Shipwreck Sifters, discard a bunch of spirits, flashback them back, tempo the opponent out. It's just that blue white's removal again isn't great. So it has a hard time dealing with bombs if they manage to resolve and you can't kill them. It's also blue white's also not really great with flip the switch, given that you tend to just curve out and just play morning patrols on turn 3. Whereas in blue black you also you have the Static Awakener with its activated ability and a lot of other instances that plays. And you can just sit back with, again, like Scob Wrangler and Siege Zombie all day while keeping up your counter spells. So you also have these great activated abilities. So blue-white just doesn't have that effect unless you're playing Larder Zombie. But even then, Larder Zombie, the opponent had a Larder Zombie that whole game and still wasn't able to kill us. Alright, seems good. Ooh, a Static Awakener would have been nice on turn 1, but we gotta be mana efficient. So, red spells I have to imagine. No flash creatures in red I need to be scared of, so we'll just attack for 2. Let's curve out. Yeah, this is just so disgusting. Like 2 premium threats he has to remove. I see Moonrager Slash here. Do I cast Organ Hoarder or a Static Awakener? I think I want the Static Awakener. The 4/4 is just stronger. And what I can do now is I can also put the Death Trigger on the stack, so what I can do now is attack with both. And then the zombie's Death Trigger's on the stack, we can sacrifice it to a Static Awakener. And I might as well do main phase. I mean, do it now before he has Moonrager Slash or Neonate's Rush. So yeah, just having a 4/4 on turn 4 is always nice. 4/4 that drew you a card. So he needs to get to 5 mana to burn this out with Burn the Accursed. So it's definitely a red spells deck. He could have, whatchamacallit. He could have burned down the house, but I'm not going to play around that. Ooh, lots of these goodies. I'm fine throwing Rotten Reunion in the graveyard. I already have a Scob Wrangler. Maybe I actually put Flip the Switch in my hand so we can counter a nice spell, but yeah. I was just going to concede. The deck is just too good. I think this is our 5th match, 5-0. Yeah, these games are really quick. So taking Dreadhound felt really good. Haven't seen him this game yet, but it did put me in the right direction being blue-black. Like, I actually think passing the Consuming Blob was correct. Like, Consuming Blob would be the first pick, but Dreadhound, again, isn't too different from Consuming Blob. But obviously, if you can resolve the Consuming Blob early, it grows out of hand, but the Dreadhound also becomes a ticking time bomb, and could even be better sometimes. Like if the opponent's already low on life total, like the Dreadhound could just burn them out. Or even if the opponent's at 10 life and you have a bunch of zombies and you do an all-out attack, it still burns them out. Whereas the Blob is just gonna generate value over time, giving you good blockers, and it's a little bit more of a slower, grindy card. So you're not gonna attack with your tokens immediately. Whereas if you play Dreadhound and you have a ton of zombies, it has a much more immediate impact. So I think taking the Dreadhound over the Sludge Monster is correct. No black mana. Unfortunately, I think I have to get rid of this hand. Like, if we don't get black mana, this hand is abysmal. Like, we can't cast, like, basically, 2/3 of our hands, so I think it's a mulligan. And on the draw, it's not that bad. We still get a card draw. Just need to make sure we have a swamp and island in our opening hand, and at least enough lands to cast our stuff. So I think it's a mull. Like if I know for sure on the top if I'm drawing black, this would be an instant keep. So I can top deck a swamp, play a Static Awakener, and this is an insane curve. But I think I don't want to risk it here. This is fine. Ooh. Might have to bomb this Dreadhound. I mean, unfortunately, with only 2 lands, it's going to take a while, so goodbye, Dreadhound. The rest of these other cards I'm still fine with. I don't have any shuffle effects in deck, so it's going to stay on the bottom for quite some time. Slaughter Specialist? If I double block it next turn, it can be kind of risky, so I think we're fine playing this in Sego. Next turn, I could set up a double block, because what can happen is I can keep a flip the switch in case he has a burn spell. And I might actually do that next turn. Like, I do lose a Scab Wrangler, but this card can be quite scary, so... This is best in the black-red aggro deck, because you want to cast this early and apply pressure. Heirloom Mirror, okay. So the opponent's probably planning to do... something here. I might actually keep a flip the switch. Like, I do lose the Blaze Stitch Scab, but I could also counter the opponent's next play, and I can also just buy back the Blaze Stitch Scab next turn. Like, I could try to resolve this and go for a block, but if he has a removal spell, then this becomes a 4/4, and that's quite a problem. Whereas even if he has a removal spell, if I keep up flip, I can still double block, and that can be fine. So I will go for a double block if he attacks. The Heirloom Mirror, although I don't think it's a great card, I still am going to it's still going to be pretty decent in this matchup. So I might need to find something that can kill this. What do I have in the library? I can keep tapping it down with Scab Wrangler. Don't have any bounce effects in this deck, so I guess we have 1 Revenge of the Drown in the deck that can answer this. Haven't seen it yet, but this can become a 4/4, which is again kind of scary. I'm definitely going to block here if he attacks. If not, Falcon seems okay. So this can become a 4/4 and start beating down. I might need to set up a double block with Stormrider Spirit eventually. If one of these die, I can buy it back with Crawl. If he attacks with a 3/3, it could be a little bit suspicious, so I might have to take 3 again. But, I mean, if he had a combat trigger, I think he would have attacked with this instead of trying to use Foul Play last turn. So he can buy back the Foul Play now, so that's annoying. At least he doesn't get to activate the mirror, and that slows him down. Ooh, another flip the switch, sure. Do I want to attack? It's not bad. I mean, I do need to apply some pressure. And if he attacks with 3/3, I think I take it. I'm definitely going to counter the Foul Play if he tries to cast it here. Maybe we just need to tempo the opponent out to just be hyper-aggressive and just kind of race him and just take the 3. Because losing a Blaze Stitch Scab is kind of rough against the Heirloom Mirror because I do need to attack with a bunch of stuff. So I'm definitely going to counter this. I love how this costs 4. He has a second removal spell, that's unfortunate. So do I chump? I think I'm fine taking 4. Yeah, no good blocks, I think we take it. Next turn we can just buy back the Blade Stitch Scab. If I play Organ Hoarder, does that accomplish anything? If I buy back the Blade Stitch Scab, he blocks a 3/2. We have 9, 10 powers. I don't think that's enough, so I think we actually want to surprise him by getting the doing a Crawl on a different turn. Defenestrate is nice. I don't really care about this here. I don't have any daytime, nighttime to shrink anything, so I actually will take the Defenestrate. and attack for 2 in the air. You can also attack with a 1/1. I don't mind that as well. Yeah, let's do that. I think I'm fine racing. If this becomes a 5/5, I'm also okay. We can still cast Defenestrate next turn. Buy back. I mean, I could also do an all-out attack and kill him if he's not careful. This will deal 4. Eccentric Farmer, sure. So if I buy back the, ooh, he's doing Mire instead. Revenge of the Drowned, attack. I might have to keep up Revenge for the 2/2. I could also crawl from a cellar this turn, but then he can still block. If I Defenestrate here, it's also not great. I might actually just play maybe Organ Hoarder here. Or just keep up double removal. I mean, I don't need to bounce this now. I think what I can do here is I guess I can just also make a 4/3 Organ Hoarder. If he attacks, he doesn't really want to block because he loses out on the token. Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's do this. Get back Bladestitch Scob, put a counter onto Organ Hoarder. And then I might as well attack with a Flyer. If he blocks the Flyer, that's okay. If he double blocks it, he still takes 4. And 4 is a lot of damage, so we'll let 4 damage happen. Then we'll kill Slaughter Specialist with the Defenestrate. I'm also fine if he chumps, because we're going to set up an all-out attack, and then if he plays it... And this is going to come in tap too, so it's also just not a good card. And then we can just surprise him with a Bladestitch Scob. Yep. Pass the turn. And there's no counter spells, unless he's splashing for Flip the Switch, but I highly doubt it. It's going to be rough going 4 colors in this set, so I think he's just a 3-color Jund deck, and there's no counter spells. So Defenestrate should be pretty nice here. Opponent seems kind of scared. Could still take 5. I'm hoping he attacks. Maybe I pull the plug. I think I'll pull the plug here. 5 is a lot. If he activates this, I can still bounce it back. So basically I can just waste his whole entire turn. I don't even think this card's great. If I play Bladestitch Scob, attack with all, block, he's at 9, so he can still die, but I'm afraid he could have some sort of instant to blow me out. So I think I'll still attack with these 2 next turn. But if I pass the turn, however, he's just gonna... This is gonna transform into a 3/4. So I should also be careful. Rebirth. Okay, a Burly Breaker. So that's a little bit annoying. So I don't have any good attacks. I could play Bladestitch Scob, attack for 5. If he double blocks, yeah, this is rough. I could just take 4 in the air. I mean, I could also just double block this, which also isn't bad, but this becomes a 3/5, which is a problem. I do have my zombies to swing back, so maybe I still keep up the Revenge of the Drowned. And then there could be a turn where I just ambush with the Bladestitch Scobs. I can also just main phase this, honestly. So this doesn't transform. Yeah, this will transform into an 8/5, so I think we have to main phase a Revenge here. With your Heirloom Mirror. And then we can still take 6. And then, I mean, I could also chump it, and then if I chump it, I can play Bladestitch Scob and go for an all-wide attack. He can reanimate one of his creatures, so I'm still maybe forced to take 6 here. Because if he manages to reanimate a creature, that's going to become a problem. I'm not going to have enough attackers to kill him. So let's say he hits me for 6. He has 3 blockers, blocks 3 creatures. He blocks here, blocks. Yeah, he should be dead. So I don't think I can afford to block here. And looking at his deck, I don't think it seems like I don't think he has a lot of burn-based removal. So it seems like he's just running like single 1-for-1 removal. So I think it's actually just better to take it. Taps out 5 mana alive. I guess I'll take. I'm forced to chump if he attacks with all 3 of these, but then I can swing back with Blade Stitch Scob and kill him. So either way, I mean, if I chump, he's dead. If he keeps everyone back, he's still alive, but then it's also not great for him. I think I'll take 6, and then if I play Blade Stitch Scob, he's just dead because he would need 3 blockers total. If he blocks 2 creatures, it's still 9 damage. Yep, he just has to pass the turn, so that's unfortunate for my opponent. So what I can do now is I can Organ Hoarder, find mana, play a Static Awakener, although it has to be black mana, which is kind of interesting to note. If I play a Blade Stitch Scob, is he dead, though? I have 5 attackers, he blocks 3, so that'll put him down to 6, so he's still going to be alive. So I feel like we have the Organ Hoarder here, maybe find black mana to cast a Static Awakener and just try to go wide and go slow, keep him on defense. Yeah, unfortunately, no black mana, so I think I'm fine ditching these 2. I need to hit my lands so I can surprise him with double Blade Stitch Scob and also not allow his werewolf to transform, so this is fine. Again, fine taking 6. I highly doubt this deck is running burn spells. I'll take 6. I mean, if I block here, do I have lethal as well? Nah, let's just take 6. He could have burned the Accursed, but nah. If I didn't take it, would I have lethal the next following turn? Probably not. So he still has 4 blockers here. So let's do some math. If I play, so I'm going to have a bunch of 4-powered attackers, so this is definitely going to get blocked. So I have how many creatures? 4, 5, 6 creatures. I guess he's going to be dead because we're going to have 8 power if we play double Blade Stitch Scob. So let's say he blocks here, blocks 3 of my other 4-powered creatures. We're still going to have 12 damage, so yeah, we got him. Easy win. And then we might as well attack with Fall, and this is game over. So he's guaranteed to die here. There's no instant speed stuff that gains him life. Yeah, he's guaranteed to take 16 either way, so... I mean, 8 either way, so... Yeah, that was clutch, but we got him. And even then, if we did this all-out attack, and he survives, we still have blockers, and we get some good value here. So we should still be alive either way. We were able to chump with the 1/1. So taking that 6 was correct. If he kept this back, he would have bought another turn, but I think he needed to. He wanted to be a bit aggressive to try to pressure me. But zombies are just busted, so... It's so hard to play aggro in this set because of zombies. Because you're always fearful of the 2 zombies that are going to get in for lethal for the opponent. And it's nice that blue-black also isn't just a hyper-control deck, so it has a bit of an aggressive slant to it, being able to pressure the opponent and get their life total low enough for a go-wide zombie attack. So yeah, zombies are... That's the reason, again, why red creature aggro, red-green, I mean green-white, red-green aren't too great in this format. Still 5-0. Our games are really long and grindy. For some reason, so if you're running like Eaten Alives and Defenest and Foul Plays and Olivia's Midnight Ambushes and Defenestrates, then there's no reason to fear a burn spell. You don't want to main deck those in his type of deck, which was okay mid-rangey red-green deck, but also was kind of didn't have as a bit of werewolf synergy, so I saw that. So I think he was red-green splashing black for the removal. I mean, hard splashing at least, since Eaten Alive is double black, and he managed to tap out for 5 mana for it, so... Alright, this hand's a little bit slow. I mean, Static Awakener I can't play on turn 1, but I still think it's a keep. If we can top deck a Black Source, we're in good shape. If not, we'll just play a slow, dirtily game. I'm hoping I can get at least one land off the top. And there it is. So, next turn, keep up Flip the Switch. My trade here, like the 3 damage can really add up. At the same time, Flip the Switch and give me a zombie to make a 4/4, but with Prowl from the Cellar, I think I'm fine trading. 3 damage can add up and the opponent could be pretty aggressive. Curse of Leeches, okay. I can Defenestrate that next turn, so it's fine. So I'm going to just pass a turn and then keep up Defenestrate. There's no hexproof trick here set in the set, so this is fine. Maybe I should have done it on his upkeep, so if he surprisingly plays blue mana and keeps up Counterspell, I should be kind of wary. So that's good. I could run Reunion here, but I want to keep up my Counterspell, so I'm just going to Prowl from a Cellar, submit 0, and I know this is suspicious, because I'm not playing out the Ecstatic Awakener, but I still want to keep up Counterspell. If the opponent has a scary 5-drop like Blob, I can't afford to really allow that to resolve, so. Do I have Blood Pack here? Denying him 2 cards is pretty nice, but at the same time, if he is able to affect the board, it's even worse, so I think I'm fine having him draw 2 cards here. What I want to do is counter a big creature that I'm able to not attack past. So just keeping up the counter spell is, I think, good instead of countering his card draw. So Abzan, so he's probably splashing for some white disturbed creatures or removal. What do I care about Silverbolt? I don't really care. Although that can answer my Static Awakener, which is pretty annoying. But I can always just counter a creature and then play a Static Awakener and counter. Yeah, let's just counter this now. That's worth countering, and I can play a Static Awakener and sacrifice a zombie token, make a 4/4, and draw a card. And we'll just do it on a stack so we get again for 2 damage here. So yeah, what we can do here is we can attack for 2. Death Trigger on a stack, do the trick. Oh, I should have held full control. I didn't held full control. That was a misplay. That was definitely a misplay. Darn it, that was dumb. So he's gonna kill my Static Awakener, I have to imagine. I don't have to use the activated ability now. That was dumb. I messed that one up. Should have considered here. If he flashes in Bounding Wolf, he won't have mana to activate the bolt, so I think this is fine. Interesting to decide to do that. I guess I don't mind sacking this for value. He might have something else here, like a Midnight Ambush. Okay, no, just the land. So I should have held full control. I realized the game doesn't do that, so that's kind of stupid. Alright, we'll just do this, and then pass the turn. I would have killed a Static Awakener if I was him. But I guess he had an Eat Alive, so never mind. Question is, do I attack for 2 here and play the Blood type Collector? I think I do, just to make him discard. I can also buy back the Falcon Abomination, but I'd rather play on the 5-drop here. That's good. Yep, that's pretty sweet. So he's probably holding on to something very good here, like Tovolar, Celestis, sure. That will gain him life and allow him to gain some card advantage. And a 5-mana Eat Alive, that's rude. Sure. I guess I'll just reanimate the Falcon with the Crawl then. That was 2 spells, so he gets a transform. He's probably not going to loot here. Ooh, okay, crawl. Yeah, let's just play. We can play all of our spells, so that's really nice. We can play land, awakener, crawl into a Falcon Abomination. So yeah, it's hard to play one-for-one removals in the set because of cards like a Static Awakener and Falcon. So I already have a full board already, almost. So gross. Even with all this removal, he wasn't able to outvalue me. He does have the Celestis, of course. I'll just sacrifice this now so I can hit for 4. There's no reason to do that whole trick. You could have a removal at instant speed, and I want to get value off of the Static Awakener, but I think this is correct. And we even have Revenge for backup. One moment. I also don't mind the opponent trying to interact with my zombie. I can bounce Awaken Demon, make another zombie token, and sack and draw, so that can be a cool thing. I can also Rotten Reunion his Rotten Reunion, so that's also interesting. Although he can just flash at instant speed, so yep. We'll still keep up our revenge. Keep playing our lands, attack for 6. Can always revenge end of turn. I mean, I guess if I revenged this, it would have been lethal. So I didn't think about that, but either way, we have this game covered, I think. Maybe I should have main phase, but man, it's okay. I'm hoping this doesn't cost me the game. So if he passes a turn, I'll just revenge, try to get in for lethal. For a moment there, I thought I only played 8 spells. Yep, revenge is perfect. So that's just game over. Really nice instant. The second or third best blue common. It's almost like a removal spell, almost, but close. Yeah, I think he's just dead here, or she. Not sure. Yep, that's what you call 2 for 1. Sure, I mean, that doesn't really do much. It does turn it daytime, but I can also just run Reunion end of turn as well, just so I can make an extra body, which I will, just to guarantee lethal. Yep. So Rotten Reunion also overperforms, making that extra body at instant speed is nice, hitting some disturbed creatures, and also providing stack fodder. Zombies just do so much. But it's so Rotten Reunion is basically 3 mana, exile two cards from any graveyard and make 2/2 zombies. I think that's good value. Like, it's definitely better than No Way Out, and has the extra added flexibility of casting it for either 1 or just 2 mana. So yeah, Rotten Reunion, don't mind a copy in the blue-black decks, or even white-black for that matter, just to have the extra fodder. So alright, 6-0. This is a pretty busted deck. Hopefully the final boss we can kill and get 7-0 with, and might just do another Innistrad draft, might do a Premier draft, Ravnica, but we'll see. One play we could have done was cycle to startle, but I think I just want to develop the board. Like, with Falcon, I'm kind of guaranteed a token. Opportunist is an interesting card. Yeah, we can attack into it and then use Olivia's Midnight Ambush to finish it off. And I guess if he blocks my 1/1, I might be forced to sack the zombie to kill this, and he still draws a card. So either way, it's not great. I think we actually just attack for 2 here, and if he blocks, I'll use Midnight Ambush. I think this card is strong enough that I'm willing to kill this immediately. Like, it puts me down on tempo, but I still think we want to kill this. I'm hoping he doesn't have Crawl, get it back. That's annoying. Because yeah, this card can just win him the game if any of my creatures die. Like if I play the 3-drop, let him untap, he plays a removal spell, he draws a card. That's really bad. So, all right, Organ Hoarder or Falcon. Probably just Organ Hoarder. Again, there's no flash creatures I'm afraid of. Actually, no flash creatures in red or black, so attacking is correct, and we will play Muldrifter here. Finally saw the Revenge of the Drown in our deck last game. Haven't casted. I think I'll take the Fenestrate. There's not too many flyers I need to be aware of in red or black, unless he's looking to play the 5-mana dragon. Either way, it's gonna be hard to keep up Counterspell. I think I'll take the Fenestrate just to be safe. In case he buys back Morbid Opportunist, recast it, I need a way to answer it. Like, I could keep up Counterspell, but then it's a little bit... Alright, kills that instead of a Static Awakener. Okay, I guess he doesn't want to take too much damage for now. Makes sense. No flyer, please. Okay, that's okay. I don't even need to attack into this. I think we're just fine. I could defenestrate, but I think it's fine developing the battlefield now. If he tries to do something next turn, we can just startle this. I don't know. And now I can start burning the opponent with Siege Zombie as well, so... He might do something crazy like Lunar Frenzy and then hit me for 9. But again, we have Defenestrate as nice backup. None of these cards are particularly scary either. Ooh, should have activated the Siege Zombie. My bad. I think I'm fine attacking, and if he has something, I can still sack and use the Fenestrate, so I will attack with the Ecstatic Awakener. I mean, I don't have to, but this does threaten a lot of damage, so I'm fine if he blocks with Festival Crasher. Interesting, so he might have something still. We'll still do our sack thing and kill the 2/1. So made another minor misplay. He could have been at 15 this turn. And if he has a trick, I think I'll use Startle. Cathartic Pyro. That's rude. Sure. I can still block the 2/1 next turn and use Startle. So, and I still get to draw a card, so it's not the worst. Just not great. And we'll pass. So I'm blocking a 2/1, and we're going to use Startle on it. Again, I can also Defenestrate, but I think this is better. So I can get value off of Startle and also draw a card. And, you know, even if he has a spell, I mean, he only has 2 cards in his hand, so it's going to be rough for him to get back in the game. So what do we do this turn? I guess we Organ Hoarder first. Maybe I should attack first, but yeah. Alright, went 7-0, not bad. Blue-black Dimir Zombies is busted. So don't try to force it, but lean towards it as much as possible. That's always my advice. Unless the archetype is like... I mean, if it's really busted, like obviously, you know... I mean, you want to lean towards it. I don't know. The only time I would force an archetype like pack one, pick one is if I either know the two people on my left or rights are either drafting the busted archetype, which obviously we don't ever know, or if the whole entire set just sucks and is limited to like two guilds. Like for example, there's guilds of Ravnica, which you either draft mostly Boros or Dimir. You can just kind of force an archetype right away. But yeah, as you can see, the power level of blue black is absurd. All the great removal in black, all the great threats in blue, and all the great interaction. And flip the switch is also quite nutty in blue black. So we'll take a look at this deck before we sign off and do another draft. And yeah, we don't have the best fives, but you know they're still serviceable. Good win conditions. Plays pretty well with the counter spells too. The only card we didn't see in this in all 7 of our games is Dreadhound, except in our opening hand where we had the mulligan, we couldn't cast it. Other than that, we casted everything else. I think the last match was a match where we finally got value out of Startle, but stalled 0 Dreadhound. So sometimes even if you include a bomb in your deck, you might never see it. So keep that in mind. And yeah, nice mana base to Shipwreck Marsh, doing a lot of work. So nice 7-0 draft. I think I'm gonna do a nice snapshot here. And do we want to do guilds, Ravnica draft, or do another Innistrad draft? I think I'm down to do another Innistrad draft. But that deck was absurd. Yeah, just one more, and maybe next video we'll lead with Premier Draft Ravnica Mixer. I'm down for more blue-black shenanigans or blue shenanigans.